Vice Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Patrick Walsh spoke Monday about the Guantanamo Bay Detention Center's treatment of detainees. Defense Secretary Robert Gates selected Admiral Walsh to head up a review of detainee operations in response to President Barack Obama's executive order to close the facility within 1 year. Air Force Master Sergeant George Maurer has more.
Article 3 of the Geneva Convention states that persons taking no part in hostilities shall be treated humanely in all circumstances. Admiral Walsh's team found the Guantanamo Bay Detention Center in complete compliance with Article 3. In a review released Monday afternoon, the team found leadership consistently tries to go beyond a minimalist approach to comply with Common Article 3.
The benefit of having this review is that I come into this unconstrained. There's no limitations placed in terms of from leadership to me in terms of what to look at or where to put our emphasis.
The team also made recommendations to improve conditions for detainees. While current socialization procedures are within compliance with Common Article 3, they recommend more human-to-human contact and more recreational opportunities to help maintain humane conditions over long periods of time. Reporting from the Pentagon, I'm Air Force Master Sergeant George Maurer.
Discussions are continuing on the future of U.S. military operations at Manas Air Base in Kyrgyzstan. The Kyrgyzstan government finalized its decision last week to evict U.S. and coalition forces from the base and formally notified the U.S. Embassy. If nothing changes, U.S. forces must leave Manas in 6 months. But senior Pentagon officials said Friday they don't consider the matter closed and intend to continue negotiation. The commander of the 376th Air Expeditionary Wing based at Manas says the base has been a key logistics hub for military forces in Afghanistan.
It's a great partnership with the Kyrgyz, and it's a great foundation because of we've been here so long. But the United States and all of our coalition partners have other ways and are currently sending troops and cargo through different routes into and out of Afghanistan.
The U.S. pays $17.5 million a year to use Manas, a deal that was agreed to 3 years ago. Still overseas, where U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has wrapped up her multi-nation diplomacy tour. And as Senior Airman David Clark reports, Secretary Clinton made one last stop to Yakota Air Base before heading back to Washington.
Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton greeted several hundred service members and their families during her visit to Yakota Air Base.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of State of the United States.
Secretary Clinton spoke to the troops about the important role they play in the region.
I am so grateful to each and every one of you, to our men and women in uniform, to their families who I see before me, and the importance of the work that you're doing, not only here in Japan, but because of your presence throughout this region.
Secretary Clinton also went on to say that every troop plays an important role, not only to America, but to the world.
The United States is ready and eager to lead. We know that we can't solve all the problems of the world by ourselves, but it's unlikely the world can solve most of its problems without us. So we have to be willing, ready, and able to assume responsibilities of leadership.
Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines from U.S. military bases in the Tokyo area came to Yakota to meet Secretary Clinton as she wrapped up her week-long trip throughout the region. Senior Airman David Clark, Yakota Air Base, Japan.
Secretary of the Navy Donald Winter has posthumously presented 2 Navy Cross medals Friday at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. The medals were presented to the families of Lance Corporal Jordan Herder and Corporal Jonathan Yale. Both Marines were killed in April 2008 in Iraq after engaging a would-be suicide bomber near a gated security point. The commendations credit the Marines to saving the lives of 50 fellow Marines and Iraqi police.
You know, somebody that sacrifices himself for so many other people. You know, the worst thing is for somebody to be forgotten. They always say, you know, never forget. That's what we're here to do today, is to make sure that he is never forgotten.
The Navy Cross is the highest Medal for Valor award by the Navy and is the second highest medal in the Armed Forces, second only to the Medal of Honor. Coming up next on Around the Services, it's a major milestone in Iraq with the delivery of the 10,000th MRAP. Plus, some students at a Kansas elementary school got a special present after a long-distance correspondence with one soldier in Afghanistan. And dozens of Wisconsin National Guard members heading to Iraq get an emotional send-off in Wisconsin. But first, let the fun begin as preparations are made to get ready for Shrove Tuesday and Mardi Gras. Stick around, Sergeant Ashley Bryant is back with more.